wasn't just consequential contact, incidental contact. It was intentional, it felt like. There's some elbows out going on right now.
Well, the irony is I think two of these factory Porsches took each other out exactly in that run-up to the kink here a handful of years ago.
I remember that.
So it's crazy that they're duking it out here in the last few minutes of this race.
Nick Tandy here is one of the most fierce GT drivers anywhere in the world. He's won the 24 Hours of Le Mans overall. He's won in class here at the Rolex 24.
Whoa!
But maybe one of the highlights, this is not Nick, this is the 912 of Earl Bamber. One of the highlights for Nick Tandy this weekend, growing up in the UK as a huge stock car racing fan, he got to sit on the Peacock pit box, just two people down from Dale Earnhardt Jr. right alongside Stevie Letarte. His weekend was made just being up there on the pit box.
Well, he almost made the end of his race there in the bus stop, took a bunch of the second apex curve, got a bit of kick off the rear suspension, and then went hanging on through the dirt. And at this stage in the race, that dirt at the exit of the bus stop is well sort of dug out, and it's a big hit through there, and these guys are still going hard.
Tell us more, Marty.
Well, you talk about Nick Tandy being a big NASCAR fan. Let me tell you how much, Lee. They had a race in Indianapolis a couple of years ago on a Friday. Nick Tandy bought tickets for the rest of the race weekend. Yeah, didn't ask for credentials, bought tickets, sat in the stands, watched the Xfinity Series race at the Brickyard, then watched the Cup Series race at the Brickyard, bought himself a Kyle Busch hat, and also bought his kids Kyle Busch gear. Now, this weekend, he's got to talk to Dale Jr. on the pit box, Kelly, and got to race against Kyle Busch as well. Pretty cool weekend for Nick Tandy.
Very cool. Just ahead of those Porsches is BMW.
So competitive, and he talked about playing video games with his younger brother who's only 11 years old, and Brian sort of let him win now and again, and Colton just said, no way. No way, Dad. That isn't happening. So even won't let his younger brother win a video game on him.
Here we go. Let's have a listen to this new Porsche 911 RSR 19, the sweet sound. There's the speed difference of a GTLM versus a GTD Porsche.
You could see the timing of that move. Bamber didn't want to rush up on that Porsche GTD machine, the number 16 from Wright Motorsports. He just wanted to just coast, get out of the power, save a little bit of fuel at the same time, get the run through the bus stop chicane and clear him on the exit. And that's all about management and being smart and not getting yourself into the wrong place at the wrong time. Talking about the different sound of this race car, Lee, I spoke to Lawrence Vantor at the Raw test a few weeks ago about the new car, and he said one thing we had to adjust was the air plug system and the balaclava that incorporates that. He said this side exhaust just really made like a drumming sensation inside the cockpit, and all the drivers just had a headache after the first test, so had to make some adjustments there.
There was some adjustments there with Chris Miller in the JDC Miller Motorsports prototype, and Bamber had to check up there. Here is Ollie Jarvis in the 77th, second place overall. The Mazda tucks through, and Mike Conway is right behind. You see the white and red Whelen Engineering Cadillac.
He's been doing well.
By the way, in GTLM, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, just 2.5 seconds between Augusto Farfus and Earl Bamber. Now it's down to 1.8 seconds for the lead of GT Le Mans. Fred McEwicki is about 7 seconds further back in third. And then the first of the new Corvettes with Ollie Gavin in fourth place. Just under 10 seconds for the overall lead of the race, Scott Dixon. By the way, if we haven't mentioned it on air, I congratulate Scott and Emma Dixon on the birth of their first son during the holiday period. His name is Kit. It's not a family name. He said actually Emma's a very big Game of Thrones fan, and she's very fond of the actor Kit Harington. And he said a less serious excuse or reason is my favourite chocolate is Kit Kat. So while we race into the evening here, it's been terrific to have the Peacock Pit Box with Steve, Dale Jr. and Krista. Who you got, guys?
Oh, we got the crazy man, Lee. crazy.
There's lots of their setups and get ready for this race, but in these guys' case, it literally allowed them to still race at this time of the day, at this time of the night. So important laps that those guys turned just a few weeks ago when everybody was down here for the testing, and it's allowed them to continue to compete for the full 24 hours today.
We've talked about the incident. Let's take a look at it as to why they had
incident. And the team gathered around him. Jerome Bleekemolen, one of his co-drivers, a very experienced championship-winning driver, just said, Trenton, I've been there. I've done that. We all have. And if you do this long enough, you too will be a part of it. So shake it off. Focus forward. That's behind you. And here they are on the racetrack.
Yeah, it was just something that caught him out in the rain, and it could be an issue if we do get rain. There's a painted line in the brake zone as you transition from the oval onto the road course. There's a yellow line that goes all the way around the racetrack on the oval, and that defines the racetrack in the apron. And when they say in NASCAR, you can't go below that yellow line or you get a penalty for passing. Well, that yellow line is right there painted black. And if you back up that camera there, you can see that yellow line stops and it's painted black. Well, in the rain, he came down off the banking there, was on the brakes, hit that black paint, and just immediately lost the rear of the car. It took a hard left and into the inside wall. Rookie mistake, something that caught him out, but you couldn't see the black line because the pavement was wet, which makes it darker, and he was just out there getting used to the car in the rain, was on the brakes hard, hit the paint, and the rear end slid out from underneath him.
Championship count years as far as the team goes, running sports cars in Europe, running them here, running the Indy car now. And Elton Julian, if you don't know that name, just look it up. Look at driver database or any of the other driver stats pages, and you'll see what kind of a race car driver he was. He was exceptional back in the day and actually had a shot at Formula One, had a ride lined up, and then the funding fell through, and that kind of ended his driving career. But he was that good. He's brought that same kind of passion and determination to being a team owner, and he's done exceptional things.
Yeah, you're talking about the team principal for Dragon Speed, that 81 LMP2 car that currently is leading in class. We're riding along with the 912, currently running in the second spot in class, in GTLM. And we laughed because we saw the BMW go by, and it's just been back and forth. It's been those two, that 24 and the 912 or the 911. I mean, they've both been right there, but they have been bound.
It's on at the front. It's always been on at the front between these two, Augusto Farfus and Earl Bamber, the BMW and the Porsche, for the lead of GT Le Mans.
Talk about two of the best in the business going at it. Bamber tries to take it deep. Farfus tucks it to the inside. Does he give him a lane coming off? This is tight. Bamber now.
Rolex 24 can be done.
BMW yet to pit. This is the car that has been racing with. He's going to peel off in any lap coming up here, so we'll see where it all shakes out. But man, these guys have just been going at it.
So it's Bamber that's behind the wheel now.
With you, along with Kelly Stavis, Marty Snyder, Dave Burns, and the Peacock Pit Box will be back a little later as well with Chris Devoda, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Steve Letarte. Let's race it to the end. Less than 2 hours to go, Cal, and this race has been riveting.
It really has. We just saw a change of position there, the inside of Jordan Taylor there. But watch this, close course through traffic. Jordan trying to thread the needle there, tries to give his competitor as much room at the inside and almost gets up into the side of the LMP2 machine. But good, clean, hard racing, a lot of respect shown today.
Nick Tandy saw what was happening there and gave